Hello everybody, I'm back with another video where I will be talking about some wild plants that you can find at this time of the year and also how to use them. But before that, I want to talk to you about one aspect of sustainability that I feel is often overlooked, but that is really important. And as some of you might know, I am a scout. I'm part of a scouts group called Royal Rangers. And as scouts, we do all the things that scouts usually do, like making fire or sleeping in tents. But one of our objectives as scouts is to teach children how to get along with nature, how to find their way, how to use and recognize plants and all these things. And I feel that this is really important because children will be the ones who will live on our planet and who will take over the responsibility to live sustainably. And children have a natural sense of wonder and of amazement for the world around them. But one thing that we need to do is to pass on the knowledge about nature to them and to teach them how to live sustainably, how to treat nature respectfully. And one thing I would like to encourage you to do after watching this video is to take some children with you, be it your own or your nieces or nephews or your neighbors or scouts group or whatever, and to show them something that you've learned and to show them some plants, how to use them for your health, and to pass on this knowledge. And I feel this is so important because a lot of the knowledge that we have about plants, about herbal medicine, would already be lost if it weren't for books like the one which I mentioned in my last video. But it's really only by passing on all this knowledge and experience also that we will be able to keep it alive. But for now, let's move on to all the plants that you can find in the month of June. Now this here is sorrel. You can easily recognize it by the specific form of the leaves. And sorrel has a slight citrus taste. You can use the leaves in the same way as spinach or add them in risotto. That's very, very tasty. Or you can also eat them raw as a snack. And as a child, I used to love to eat the stems just like that as a snack. But I never knew how healthy they actually are because sorrel contains lots of vitamin C. This is elderflower, and elderflower tea is wonderful to boost the immune system or to fight fever or cold. It can also help to alleviate allergy symptoms of seasonal allergies, and when you apply it externally, it can help reduce pain and joint inflammation. The leaves of elderflower can be used to purify the blood, and my favorite way to use the flowers is to make syrup with them or to fry them. That's very delicious. When you pluck elderflower, you have to make sure that you don't take everything, because once the flower is gone, there will be no berries in autumn, and the berries of elderflower also have wonderful medicinal properties. They are very high in vitamin C, and they are an important source of food for birds in autumn and winter. So make sure you don't collect all the flowers now. These are blackberry leaves, and blackberry leaves are very high in vitamin C and iron. And the tea made from blackberry leaves can serve to regulate menstruation, and it also has anti-inflammatory properties. This is ground elder. You will usually find it in rather shady places, and it's wonderful as a salad. It's also very high in vitamin C. This plant here is called field horsetail, and the tea of horsetail can be used to treat kidney and bladder problems, and when you apply it externally, it can help the healing of wounds or stop bleeding. Now you have to be very careful when you want to identify horsetail, because there is a very similar looking plant that is toxic, and the way to identify field horsetail, which is the non-toxic plant, is to look at this sheath, leaf sheath here in the center, and the internode, the lowest internode here at the branches, and this internode should be taller than the leaf sheath in the center at the stem. And when the opposite is the case, then you know that it's a toxic plant. And the way to remember this is it's a funny little story that our professor told us. When the leaf sheath here at the center, you imagine that this is the president or the king, and the internodes here at the branches, those are the people. And when the people are bigger than the king or the president, it's a democracy, which is positive. And then you know that this is the good plant. And when the opposite is the case, so when this leaf sheath here in the center is taller than the internodes, these sections here, the branches, that's negative. And then you know that it's the toxic plant. As I said in one of my earlier videos, I really recommend that you look up the plants in the internet or in books, and that you really make sure that you've correctly identified the plant. All of these plants are very common in many parts of the world, and not just in the countryside but also in the city. And I've recorded all of these videos in the city where I live. So yeah, I hope you have some success with your foraging trips. And if you have any questions or comments or wishes for any other video, please just let me know and feel free to reach out to me.